Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the new Tier 8 campaign ship for the German Navy, the Agir, or Agir. I call it the Agir. So with that being said, let's look at our commander. We are running Karl von Muller, we are running Beyond Range, Igniter, Punch Through, Fixated, Fully Packed. We are also running Francesco Membelli for a little bit faster reload, and Nikolai Kuznetsov for a little bit extra range. Do not forget, we are on the path to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Punch that subscribe button, be a part of our journey. Now that being said, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, Concealment System Mod, and we are running Main Battery Mod 3, which reduces the reload time once again. Alright, the steering gears you could probably swap for propulsion if you really wanted to. I did it for a little bit of extra like, turning ability. One of the big things about this particular ship is it has an extended range sonar, so make sure you guys are aware of that. For UDD players or you smoke cruiser players, remember, it's almost as good as the gross occur first. It is 5.7 kilometers. It will see you before you see it. So be careful. Okay? It does have some enhanced secondary targeting modules because reasons, but honestly, it doesn't really give you a whole lot. Survivability, you have 62,850 hit points with this build with a 37% torp damage reduction. From artillery, you have 305mm L56 SKC-39s. You get 9 of them, reaching out to 18.7 kilometers with this build, reloading in 17 seconds. 180-degree turn time's pretty bad at 35.3, but again, that's probably because we took the last mod for decreasing our reload. HE shell maximum damage is 3,600 with a 30% chance to set fires. I recommend that you use AP more often than not. AP shell maximum damage 10,010. So very nasty AP for cruiser question mark. It's literally like a bigger Odin is all this thing is. Secondary armament, you get 120mm L61 KM40s. You get 18 of them, reaching out to 6.3 kilometers, and they reload in just 3.6 seconds. So, I mean, there is something to be said about some of the secondaries on this thing. It has 18 of them, so you get essentially, I would say 9 per side, but you really, it's weird. I don't know. It's an odd number. I say an odd number. It's just not. It's just 9 per side or something. But 1,500 maximum damage, 8% chance to set fires. But the fact that it has a little bit longer range than most base secondaries gives you an option if you want to go that route. But again, it's a cruiser. They're 128mm guns. I wouldn't worry about trying to go for like a meme build or anything like that. Torpedoes. You get 533mm Veerling torpedoes. You get 2 quad launchers, one on either side of the ship. They reload in 90 seconds. They have a maximum damage of just 13,700 with a 6 kilometer max range, which is tragic. I think this ship should have had like 8 kilometer torpedoes rather than 6 kilometers. I think this thing takes more after like Prince Eugen. I don't know. I just think that they kind of neuter this ship with like short range defensive torpedoes, but 65 not so. If you do get into a pinch, you got the torps there. But otherwise, you're not going to use them much. AA, you actually have pretty good AA defense, which is pretty shocking for a German. 20mm flak Veerling 38, you get 40 of them, doing 60 damage per second, reaching out to just 2 kilometers. So not crazy there. But here's the kicker. 55mm L77 Garat 58 Zwillings, you get 18 of them, doing 220 damage per second, reaching out to 5 kilometers. That's kind of nutty that you have 2 separate guns that are going to be reaching out to 5 kilometers. And then 128mm L61 KM40 dual purpose secondaries, you get 18 of those, doing 112 damage per second, reaching out to 5.2 kilometers. So decent standoff AA, not crazy good, but decent. Maneuverability, maximum speed 34.6 knots. I don't get a chance to use it much in this ship, but it's there. The turning circle and turning the rudder shift in this thing's horrendous, which is why I went with steering gears to help it a little bit. Gets it to 11.2, makes it somewhat useful, but I'll be honest, this thing is a turd when it comes to turning. Concealment. Detectability by sea, 11.9 kilometers. Detectability by air, 7.5. Guaranteed is always 2. And the detectability while firing in smoke is surprising, but 10.6. Not bad. But that being said, the biggest thing that this thing is going to use is surprise. Okay, it's going to come around islands and smack people. It's got those torpedoes, so it's going to play a lot like, you know, Hipper, Prince Eugen, even Odin. Like, I liked the Odin. Like, I'm one of the few people that actually enjoyed the Odin. But these also have torpedoes at midship, much like Brandenburg and Tirpitz and all of those. What it means is you get really good torp angles, but unfortunately, most of the time, your torps are going to get knocked out anytime you take in shots. So keep that in mind, okay? Don't rely on your torps, because a lot of times, by the time you actually get to a point where you could use them, they're going to be knocked out. You can see I have just a 50% win rate. I haven't played the ship a whole lot. I've been trying to bounce back and forth between this and Atlantico and Kansas, because Kansas, obviously, the artillery plotting room. I've got a game for you guys for that. All that. But look at the torpedo accuracy, 38%. That tells you right there that the only time you use those torps is as a defense, and they're very accurate when you need them because you're point blank. Okay. Our average damage is pretty good, though, 94,300 with an average XP of 1,600. Average potential is pretty high for a cruiser at 962,000. So we're doing pretty good there. But it's just, the ship is a bit squishy. And this looks like it's actually better than it is. And I'll go over that. So for the front, you have 27mm bow plating, which is fantastic. It means you are able to angle against everything 15 inches and below. Unfortunately, most of the stuff that you're going to go up against is going to have 16 inches and above. So this bow plating means basically nothing. Okay, so don't use your bow. You do have a belt if you can use it. It is a slight turtleback, though I wouldn't count on the turtleback. Trust me, you're going to get punished. But it does have a decent don't armor. So if you can get this thing out into the open water and have agility, I say agility. I don't mean go full agility. I mean, obviously this thing has pretty bad rudder shift. Even if you go full agility, you're going to get it down to maybe 9 seconds, something like that. So don't go full agility on it, but if you can get this thing out into the open where you have the ability to move around, dodge some shells, that's where this thing's going to be nasty. And please, for the love of God, use your AP on this thing. I think you guys saw it was a turtleback, so you got the turtleback armor, but it's a cruiser turtleback, does have a raised citadel, so keep that in mind. Much like Hipper, Prince Eugen, while it does have a turtleback, if you're at any sort of medium to long range, you're going to get probably dev struck with citadels. Up close and personal, you might survive long enough to get your torpedoes away, but again, you only have 4 of them. They're probably not going to go full health on somebody, but this thing does have really nasty guns. Okay, the armor piercing on this thing is pretty nasty. Tough. Above average base HP rating, is what it is. Big guns. This ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns. It's a battle cruiser. Secondary reach, above average secondary battery range. Again, if you want to build into secondaries, go for it, but I think your best bet would be to build for armor piercing and accuracy, because that's where this thing shines. Agir. One of the variants of the project of a high-speed, super-heavy O-class cruiser with excellent armor protection and armament of 9 12-inch 305mm main battery guns. She was designed in 1945. As with most German ships, these things are actually pretty good looking. Like, I like the ship, and I do like the fact that it has those big guns that are very accurate, just like the Odin, very accurate, can troll you at range, but for the most part, pretty accurate, very punchy. If you get broadsides of battleships, you are capable of citadeling them, just like any other supercruiser in the game. So use armor piercing. I can't stress that enough. If somebody's bow tanking you, fine. Switch over to HE, get them burning, and then switch back to AP and use that superstructure of theirs. But for the most part, use the AP. It will reward you, I promise. Learn where you got to shoot that stuff. It's going to reward you. The AP slaps. And with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on the shards, and we get B-spawned, because of course we do. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I like this ship. I really do. Also, we are in a division with none other than Opie, so if you guys don't remember, or if you guys get a chance, I will leave a link down in the comments section for you guys. Give her a look. If you guys enjoy her YouTube channel, make sure you guys give her some of that Spartan love. But with that being said, we are going to showcase the strengths and the weakness of the ship. Okay, this is the downside. This thing has a lot of power. Like, it really does. I'm not just saying that to say that. Like, this thing is very strong in the right hands. And yet, it also is very weak at the same time. And we're going to showcase some of that. This thing does not like to get focused. I know it's got decent armor. It can, in fact, tank if it's a one-on-one and you can see everything that's shooting at you every time. But as we're going to demonstrate early in this match, not only does the AP slap, but you get slapped by AP, especially long-range AP, as we're going to lose 3/4 of our health in the opening, I believe, 2, maybe 3 minutes of the match. So right off the bat, I see an Awami 18 kilometers away. We aim high. We don't want to aim at the belt. We want to aim higher. Maybe get to the upper side plating, into the superstructure. That's our goal with these, right? First shot out, decent result. Only 3 hits, 4,300 damage. Not bad. It's not a lot of damage, but oh my god, no! Bonk, 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 bonk. Yep, there goes half our hit points. Thank God for the Frederick de Grosso on the other side of that goddamn map who's got my broadside. Didn't see that coming. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. But that's okay, because, you know, we always get caught occasionally. You know, it happens. Everybody can get caught. You don't give up. You keep fighting, right? And not only are we going to keep fighting, we're going to actually put a beat down on the enemy in this thing. Here you can see we take another shot at the Awami. I am cognizant of the fact that Grosso Curve, or the Frederick de Grosso over there, is probably going to shoot us, so we turn in, trying to avoid getting blapped by him, and we do only take 1 overpen, but that's when the smoke screen to my left YOLOs out and goes kabonk, all my health gone. Yeah. There's a Yami behind that smoke screen that I had no idea existed, which is really, really unfortunate. Also unfortunate is the fact that Opie went into the B cap. She has a Shima on top of her, and she's getting rushed by a GK and a Yami. GK is going to be able to light her up, and the Shima is going to be able to move in and kill her. It's unfortunate. It's just what it is. Sometimes you get caught. I can't help her in this situation a whole lot because I didn't know they existed, first of all. I knew there's people that spawned there, but I wasn't expecting them to push up and actually be in a position to help their destroyer. But as you can see, Opie is clearly spotted. And she's going to be countered pretty hard. But that's going to lead to me going super sweaty try hard to try to carry this team to a victory. And believe it or not, we're going to pull off some crazy stuff in this one. So hopefully you guys are ready. GK, bow tanking. This is where we're going to get to showcase some of this armor piercing. Look how accurate these things can be. It's not always going to be this accurate, but when you get those salvos, they are disgusting. Putting up over 8,000 damage into the superstructure. And this is why I say, like, you need to use the AP. Don't rely on HE in these things, okay? The HE is okay, but the rate of fire is not going to be conducive to being a fire spammer type of build, okay? So use armor piercing. It's going to do you better in the long run. Just learn how to aim, learn where to shoot, and you will be fine. Now you can see Opie's kind of trapped here. Her engine's knocked out. She's got a GK pushing up on her. She's got the Shima coming in from the other side. There's not much she can do here. Not just that, but we get 3 shatters on the GK, unfortunately. Our battleship is now yellowing into the Shima and GK and Yama, which is obviously not ideal. We take a shot at Shima. Shima gets touched by our teammate, and unfortunately our shells missed. He turns away. So Shima is going to live for the moment, and our battleship is not long for this world, as you would expect when a battleship charges the middle of the map, and there's a Shima, GK, and a Yama ready to punish him. Now you might say, well, Spartan, why didn't you shoot at the Shima here? I have AP loaded. Even if I do hit him, not going to be a whole lot of damage, unfortunately. But you can see the Shima is actually going to end up beaching, or close to beaching. He gets out for the moment, and are they going to finish him off? Come on, all they got to do is hit him one time. Somebody finish him! No. So you might say, well, Spartan, you probably should have shot the Shima there. And you might be right. But for now, there's not a whole lot I can do. The Yami did take, like, literally almost every one of those torps, so he lost all his health. We're starting to work on the GK, and you can see I am kiting away. This is one of those things that you got to learn to do. When you're overmatched by everything like this, like you got to put some distance between you and the bad guys, right? Hopefully you pull them away from the objectives and give your team a chance. And that's our goal here. We know that we can continue to reset these guys, so we're going to keep keep going for that superstructure. Maybe we knock out a gun in the process. These are the things that we try to go for. We got the Yami there as well. These guys are going to be like sitting next to each other the entire time. But look at that shot. Beautiful shot into the superstructure. This is what I mean when I say use the superstructure. Like, a lot of people just do not shoot superstructure, and I don't understand why. But here, he's turning away. Again, we've got, look at that accuracy. Like, that's almost all horizontal. This is what you want in this situation. And blunk, another huge hit. So you can see just how nasty this armor piercing can be if given the opportunity. And if people just ignore you like they do me, like, I got 20k health. I've been spotted for a while. You would think these guys would just want to get rid of me, right? And I've already shown you that this thing does not do well when it gets shot by battleships. But meanwhile, they leave us alive, and look what we're able to do to them. Like, they underestimated the power of the Agir, and the Agir is actually making them pay for it. And now we've got an island that we can use for a little bit of island cover. And we've taken chunks off of this man the entire time. Now, that's some of the troll that I was telling you about. Still landed quite a few shells on target, but it does spread out sometimes and get you that weird, wonky troll salvos. Now, I look back and I've got an Awami going to the back corner of the map. I know that he's likely being chased by the Shima, so we got to try to put ourselves in a position. I got to also use the speed of my ship to try to get around this island to try to put some more pressure on this Yami and this GK. Our Yami is in a decent position to get some crossfires, but unfortunately that Yami is actually going to end up in a little bit of a bad situation later on. We'll talk about it when we get there. But as you can see, I'm about to come around the corner. I've got beautiful looking broadsides from these guys, and you'll love to see it. Now, first things first, I'm looking at GK. I'm thinking, okay, we can farm this. He turns away, gets angled relatively well, so we're aiming high again, trying to hit that superstructure. We get a couple of okay overpins into the superstructure, so they don't do a whole lot of damage. But this Yami is going to show just how punchy these guns can be. Now, once you figure out where you need to shoot on a Yami at medium range, like you can see, we can sneak those through the cheek and get those citadels. That's how punchy this AP actually is. Now, don't shoot the belt. You want to shoot the bow, side plating, the cheek armor. That gets you into the... Look at that accuracy, though. Oh, my God. But that one, a little too far back, we hit the belt, and you can see, bounce, shatters, no damage. Now, obviously, 20k health is all we got. Yama is so intent on trying to shoot the Awami that he is completely putting himself at a disadvantage against me, which is perfect. This means that my push is going to work, but as you can see, Yami takes a shot at me. We're trying to turn in. We want to get skinny. We've got the front guns ready. He gets a couple of pins through my belt. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get angled enough. There's that slow rudder that we talked about, but he gets touched by the Yami behind us. We're able to punch him for 9, and you can see going through the belt, we're not getting the citadel. So we need to aim a little further forward. We want to try to go through that cheek to get to the citadel. And right there you see it. You see where that shot hit right in front of the front turret in that cheek? That's where you want to go for. And of course, we didn't quite get it. He sped up a little bit, and that leaves him alive. Fortunately, he doesn't shoot us. He decides to shoot the other Yami. Our destroyer is doing the right thing. He's grabbing the cap, which is beautiful. And you can see enemy Shima. I get a little bit lost here. I'm like, where the hell is he? Okay, there he is. So we've got him on sonar right now. We've got the AP loaded initially, and then we're going to switch over to HE. Obviously, 4 overpins, not a lot of damage, just about 5k on the Shima. So here we've got to expect torpedoes. He's going to shoot us with HE, but honestly, he's screwed. And this is that long-range sonar that I was telling you about. Of course, at 4 kilometers, most cruiser sonars are going to be picking you up, but this guy definitely misplayed here. He's definitely going to try to torp us here, but we know that it's coming. And we've knocked out his torp tubes with HE. We're turning in to bow tank him, and we're going to try to get all the guns ready to shoot him. Now, he disappears momentarily, and because he fired his guns again, he does get spotted, and then we're able to kill him with the HE. Now, we got 8,000 health left. Fortunately for us, the Shima did drop us a smoke screen here, so we're going to load up the armor piercing, try to help our teammate get this Awami off the board. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have the lead here, and you can see the Daring is going toe-to-toe with our destroyer. I didn't get a chance to shoot at the Daring, but I definitely should have left this Awami and gone straight for the Daring. The fact that I spend time out here trying to get rid of this Awami, you can see we're going to chunk him. Like, he turns away a little bit, so we didn't get as much out of that. We got 5 shatters hitting his belt, but him opening up, that allows our Awami to hit him. And he can't really angle against us very well, because obviously if he does, he's going to get chunked by him. That's the whole purpose of a crossfire. But we're utilizing the smoke screen really well. Huge hit, eight penetrations, 3 overpins, 5 full pins on that Awami. And again, Awami has the same weakness as the Yami. So does the Izumo. So does the Musashi. They all have the same hull, right? So we know where we need to aim. And you can see I get one more good shot out. We blap him for another 10,000 damage. We're going to try to get one more here. We know we don't have a sonar available. We've already used it against the Shima. So we know that we're trying to put ourselves in position. I take one last shot at the enemy enemy Awami. We get another nasty hit on him. We're up to 154,000 damage. We are in the lead in points. And I screw the pooch here. Now, I know that this guy is right here. He's firing at me. He's in the cap. It's pretty freaking obvious. But I made a critical error here. I know that I was going to go dark. And I thought that if I turn really hard and then go back and be skinny, that I could dodge any torpedoes this guy throws at me. Unfortunately, that's not the case, because what ends up happening is he ends up with a torp that just gets so lucky right down the bow. Like, what are the odds of that? And I'm not gonna lie, I was not thrilled in this moment. I'll be honest. Unfortunately, our Awami goes down 2, and that gives these guys the points lead and leaves us with just the Yami at the back of the map that has just now come out from behind his island. Like, I don't mind putting yourself in a situation for a crossfire in a Yamato like that, but you got to be in a position where you can get out of it easily. Beaching yourself, bow into an island, making it to where you take 2-3 minutes to get out of that spot is not ideal. Put yourself in a situation where you have those crossfires and you're able to disengage from that spot quickly. Not saying that this is his fault. I'm just saying that in those situations, if you find yourself in that situation, you know, try to put yourself in a situation where you're not stuck on the island so that you can get out of it quickly. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. What happens next can only be described as the most infuriating thing possible. We knew we lost at this point, right? Like, this is GG. But you can see the destroyer, he's not happy with what he's already got, right? He wants more. As long as our battleship doesn't shoot at him, our battleship stays dark here. It's just him versus a destroyer. That destroyer is a one-shot kill. It is guaranteed kill. All he has to do is hit him, right? Best part is, the destroyer's going to make a huge mistake here. He's actually going to fire his guns before he gets his smoke out, and that's going to give us a chance. Unfortunately, our Yami just whiffs, and that is just absolutely tragic. But that's not even the worst of it. Like, he gives this guy so many opportunities to counter him here at the end, unnecessarily. Like, he did not need to do this. This destroyer won this game. It's over. He's got the points lead. He's got the caps. Even if Yami captures the space, by the time he captures, it's over. Like, there's no time for us to come back here. The only way we can win is if we manage to kill him. The Yami is full freaking health. You've got torps on the way, so there's no reason for you to put yourself in any sort of danger. Yami's going to eat a couple of these. That's going to trigger a damage con. You know that, because every time a torp hits you, it's pretty much a guaranteed flood, no matter where it hits a ship. But he fires his guns here, and look at him get lit up. All our battleship has to do is shoot him. He saw where he was. He takes the shot, and I honestly thought he got the kill here, but no. He whiffs too far, and unfortunately, that's the end of the game. Like, that's just, there's nothing he can do here. But the worst part is, like, the destroyer is going to continue to shoot at him and give away his position. And while he is kiting away, like, you can't take this chance as a destroyer player that's winning the game. If this guy gets touched by a round, it is GG. It's over. All he has to do is touch him, right? He's got the double fire going. He's just damage chasing, and he's putting his team at risk of losing unnecessarily. Like, this is what we call winning harder. If you're winning the match, don't put yourself in that situation. Now, you can see Destroyer's also running Smogathon, so he's got his smoke back before the other one fully dissipates. And so he's able to shoot some more. But again, our battleship fully capable of finishing him off with a single shot. And he's giving his position away and making it possible. One fluke shell is all it takes. He just puts the round in the neighborhood and RNG says, yes, you die. That's how that works. So there's no reason, if you're ever in this position as the destroyer, don't ever give yourself a chance to be countered like that. Like, you just don't. Don't take the chance. Because RNG will screw you over. We all have been there, right? So keep that in mind. But in the end, didn't matter. He ends up getting a lot of damage out of it. He ends up with a ridiculous 4,200 base XP and 4 kills. So well done to the enemy daring there. Unfortunate on our part. We had the perfect comeback from losing all the way down to 8,000 hit points and then battling back, staying with it, and doing a fantastic job of getting our team a chance. So let me know what you guys think. Are you interested in the Agir or are you not? If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.